What is up, guys? Joseph Scalise here on the Noble Gwentry, and it is Theorycraft Thursdays. And this Thursday, we are really Theorycrafting. So last week, I recorded my Crush or Herald the Cripple deck that I took over 1,000 MMR up to about 3K right there. And then unfortunately, we did not hit the 3-1 to rank 16. We dropped quite a bit, testing this deck, which is going to be this week's list. It is a Ciri Dash deck. I really love Ciri Dash. So for those of you that don't know, oops, did not mean to do that. I meant to right click. For those of you that don't know, Ciri Dash is a 9 strength gold. She is when this unit enters the graveyard for any reason. So if you discard her at the end of a round, you strengthen it by 3 and you shuffle her back into your deck. So she starts out as a 9 and you discard her, twice and she becomes a 15. You discard her again, she becomes an 18, 21. She can go crazy. So the idea is to wear your opponent down to where you and your opponent have one card at the end of the game. You are one or two cards. You have Ciri Dash, they don't, and you basically play this huge gold and they can't answer it. Now, that is the idea of the deck. Now we're going to jump into the rest of the deck. I've been working on this list a lot. I probably played about 50 to 70 games with it, different iterations, different things. This is what I've settled on. Now, I'm not saying this is final, but I am saying that this is kind of where I'm at with the deck currently. So, of course, the leader is going to be King Bran, right? We want Ciri Dash to come out a lot. We want to discard a lot of cards, and we want to thin our deck as much as possible. And this entire thing is kind of based around that idea. So, discard up to 3 cards from your deck, strengthen all units among them by 1. It's pretty powerful, and we basically use him to discard Ciri Dash, so she becomes a 13 instantly. So it's +4, and then she runs back into our deck. Not only that, but we also have some synergies with the bronze package, and starting off with that, we have the Clan on Crate Raiders. Veteran 1, whenever this unit is discarded, resurrected immediately. That is very strong. Just because he is going to be a 5. So King Bran gives you 10 points of value on top of the 4. So he's a 14-point card, plus the +4 on Ciri Dash for the end of the game. That's just a really good swing. Now, the reason you don't run 3 of these is because your mulligans are already going to be kind of weird, and you don't want 3 diluting your hand. So you run double Clash and Crate Raider, 2 of these, and Ciri. That's what you're doing. Now, Clan Dimoon Pirate Captain. This was a late addition to the deck. Veteran 1, it's a 5 strength bronze. Whenever you discard a unit, boost it by 1 while it's in your hand or your deck. Now, this is susceptible to Regis, Higher Vampire, which is in a lot of places right now. However, being able to have a giant bronze unit to leverage round 1 or push round 3 is very, very important, I found. Now, once again, you don't want 3 of these because they can dilute your hand, but having 2 of them to go big with. You discard so many units while you're playing this deck. Being able to boost these is fantastic and really helps you get into the earlier rounds before you get ready to set up your Ciri Dash, and that's really important. 3 Savage Bears. This is actually the slot I'm the least happy with. I'm playing them right now because they are bodies and they are good, but most of the time I just really don't want them. I think these bronzes could be pretty much anything. They could be, I mean, I don't even really know what else you would run here, which is the issue, and they have done pretty well. There's a lot of monsters decks running around right now, and they help offset some of the bonuses that your opponent gets with Cadwani Siege Sergeants. The other reason they're so good is because they are pretty much the only way to trigger Clan Drum and Shield Maiden in this list. Now you're going to say, okay, well, if they're the only reason to trigger Clan Drum and Shield Maiden, why are you playing Clan Drum and Shield Maiden? Well, simply put, the card is insane. 3 mana, Veteran 1, damage a unit by 2. If it was already damaged, you play another one from your deck. More deck thinning, right? So these are getting discarded for free. Now, these aren't deck thinning, these aren't deck thinning, but everything else pretty much is. So the Clan Drum and Shield Maidens, they are deck thinning. And being able to get 2 out of your deck and get a good swing in round 1, very, very important. Beyond that, we also have the Clan Demon Pirates. They are Veteran 1, that doesn't matter. All that matters is when you play one, you discard the other 2 copies from your deck. So deck thinning in a different way, but important deck thinning nonetheless. And this is kind of your core deck thinning here. Now, beyond that, The other bronze units, or cards rather, one First Light, I'm still love the First Light. The rally ability lets you thin your deck, and the ability to clear out weather is really, really good against the Axeman decks right now. And then also we have Demetrium Shackles. So why am I running Dimeridium Shackles? The reason I'm running Shackles is because I noticed the more I played this deck that the more you play this deck, you're going to draw your whole deck. If you play this deck right, or when it's clicking on all cylinders, you're going to draw your whole deck. Now, I am running Bork, which I will talk about in a second, but basically, Shackles makes it so I can use this to set up a big Bork play. It also shuts down Hallmar. Hallmar was a card I was having a lot of trouble with in testing, a card that I really couldn't answer effectively. Shackles just gives me a way to answer that. It also helps me get rid of Succubus and other just miscellaneous gold cards that I don't want to deal with. And if you don't need it, it's a great card to discard. So no harm, no foul. So those are the bronzes. Those are kind of the core of the deck. Now let's look at the silver. So first off the bat, we have Roach. Roach thins your deck. That's what it comes down to. Whenever you play a gold unit from your hand, you play Roach from your deck. So you play a gold unit, you play an Ermion, maybe you play an early Ciri Dash, and bam, you got a Roach. You don't have to worry about this card being in your deck anymore. Very nice. Also, Donar Ahindar, you got to run the lock. You just have to. His ability to discard a random bronze unit is really good, but beyond that, there's so much more Morkborg right now. You have to be able to leverage Donar, otherwise you're just not going to win games. It's just not going to happen. I tried to play without him for a while, and there were so many games where I was like, God, I wish I had a lock, and so I threw him back in. Now, Svanrig, Veteran 1, 6 strength, deploy, draw the top card from your deck, then discard a card from your hand. So just more discarding. He is really, really good. He has a really good synergy. If you have him and Ciri Dash in your opening hand, you play Svanrig, you discard Ciri Dash, you get to draw a card, and then you can play King Brand after that, and you double dip in Ciri Dash. And she's already going to be a 16 at that point, which is really, really nice. And then Udalric, card advantage, draw the top 2 cards of your deck. So you get card advantage, but also you get to keep one and discard the other one. More synergy with Ciri Dash, more synergy with your pirate captains. You can even use him with a Cloud on Crate Raider if you get stuck in one of them for the mulligan. A lot of really nice synergies you can do with Udalric. And then the final silver spot is the one I am the least convinced about, which is Sigurdrifa. Sigurdrifa is strong, but there's a lot of silver that could be in this slot. There are so many silver options in this game. I considered a lot of things. I considered ADC just for more deck thinning to be used with Ulrich. I considered things like Restore. But in the end, I think Sigurdrifa right now is the best one because you can use her with Gremist. Oh, we also have Gremist, but he's a mage. You have to play him. Being able to use her with Gremist twice is really nice. Being able to double dip on things like Savnig, I'm going to mispronounce this a million times. Being able to Donar Hindar twice is really nice. And those things matter, and helping them, you get them more than once. But the other reason she's in the deck, and this was something that I didn't see until after including her, but there are going to be games where you really want the card advantage from Udalric, so you can use King Brand to put him in the graveyard and then resurrect him with Sigurdrifa, which is really nice. She's not essential. She could also be Holger Blackhand. There are many, many options for this silver slot, and I'm not sure what they all look like, but for right now, I'm running her, and she's been working decently well. And then finally, the golds. So Ermion, draw the top 2 cards of your deck, discard 2 cards. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Ciri Dash, of course, you have to run Ciri Dash. Now the last 2 slots, Renew. Renew is not essential, okay? This could be Avalak. This could be, which I tested Avalak for a while, and I just felt like, yes, drawing all those cards was good, but I really don't like giving my opponent cards. And for me, that was a problem, and he didn't solve one of the fundamental issues with the deck, which I will get to in a minute. Renew does. Renew allows you to do a lot of really cool things. You can use it with Ermion if you really want to get to those last cards for round 3. You can use it with things like Karen Thayer to put pressure on your opponent. You can take Hallmars, which is one of the main reasons it's in the deck. Have you guys noticed that I don't like Hallmar? use Hallmar with Renew. You can use things like, you can bring back, I mean, there's just so many good cards. You can bring back Ignis, you can bring back Ciris. You can also bring back Bork, also known as Villain Trettenmer. So for those of you that don't know, I hate this card, but it just is too good for this kind of list. So 4 strength gold, after 3 turns at the start of your turn, you destroy all the highest units on the board twice. So basically, after 3 turns, at the start of your turn, you double scorch the board. And the reason he is in the list for nothing else is because winning round 1 is very important. The reason is because Ciri Dash does so little in round 3 when you and your opponent have a bunch of cards. Because then you can't really leverage her, right? Most of your cards are pretty weak. You want to be able to play Ciri Dash when your opponent has like 1 or 2 cards, so your 16, 19, 20 point gold is going to have a real impact on that end of that game. When you lose round 1 and your opponent just passes round 2, all of a sudden you have 5 cards in round 3, most of them are discard cards, you're going to lose. Having Bork to be able to scare your opponent into passing in round 1 is very, very good, and one of the main reasons why he's in the deck. And then you use them round 1, you scare your opponent out of round 1, you run them low on cards in round 2, and you can just renew them in round 3, which is really, really nice. So this is the list. It is still a work in progress, but we're going to take it to the ladder. We're going to play some games with it, and I'll just kind of explain to you how it all works. I'll see you guys there. All right, guys, we're playing some games. Sitting at rank 15, trying to get to that gold badge at rank 16, which would be really cool. I think that would be a pretty nice benchmark to hit, although I just do not like the new MMR system at all. I think it really discourages ladder play, which I'm not a fan of. But my political views aside, we're going to get into the games and we're going to dash our way to victory.
Sit at my table and let's drink.
That's an interesting, that was weird. All right, going up against Dagon Monsters. So the biggest thing about this deck is going to be the mulligans. There are a lot of cards you don't want to keep in your mulligans, which is one of the things I've found that is a problem that I'm trying to fix. So obviously we want to get rid of the Shield Maiden first, then the Raider, and now we have to get rid of Roach. And this is one of the problems that I do not like about the deck. We got a Pirate, so unfortunately we got stuck with the Pirates. I just don't like the fact that there are too many cards you don't want in your mulligans. I'm not really sure how to fix that, to be completely honest. I haven't figured it out yet. But there has to be a way to fix it. I'm just not sure. He's probably going to fog this. Oh, he just lightning bolted. Okay. I'm not really sure how to fix that. You could make it so there are more bronzes like the bears that you want to keep, but then you sacrifice a little bit of inherent value. We're going to shields our ramparts here.
Give them no rest, no reprieve.
We just want to start thinning as much as possible, and I think this is...
Now, all together.
The question is, do we want to shoot a harpy egg or the... I think we shoot the egg. Because it only gives him +2 because of the bear. And then we can use King Brand next turn to get this row. Although the fog is pretty strong, we may want to first light. If he uses Dagon here for a fog, we're absolutely going to first light. I think we can also wait on the first light. We can play the Clandorman Pirate into this row to protect the bear, which I think is inherently pretty strong. Akimara, we can use the shackles on that. It's not the end of the world. So the question is, do I want to Clandorman Pirate? No, we want to protect the bear here. But if he double fogs, then he really puts us in a bad position. Maybe it's better to Donar. We just lose the bear. We don't need the bear.
For Heimdall!
So another. So he's playing double Owser's Thunder, so he really doesn't like the bears. Yeah, Fog's pretty good against our King Bran play. We may... Okay, let's think this one through. It might be better to play the Clan Drum and Pirate Captain. We play the Pirate Captain in the front row. It goes down to 3. Then we can play Bran, discard 3 cards. This will go to 6, and that'll offset. Or we can just Fog. I mean, First Light, which it looks like is what the plan is going to be. Yeah. There's Skies. He probably will pass here. So the question is, how close can we get? We can take this down 2 cards if we want to. I think all of the heat has been taken off of this row, which is really nice. Okay, there's a current there. That's fine.
Of course, friend.
So we're going to discard one of these, discard one of these, and where is Ciri Dash?
It's boring just standing here.
So that's pretty good. We basically negated his Karen there, which is really important. Now, if he can still press this round pretty effectively, unfortunately, but there's really nothing we can do about that. We could also, so this is something else that I find really interesting about this archetype, is being able to do something like, we can not play either of these pirate captains, right? Then...
I'd be your best.
Okay.
And last.
He just used the crone, so he really wants to win this round. Do we let him take it, is the good question. If we play Ermion, there's really nothing we can do. We can't take the round in 1 card, unless we don't draw a roach. So this is plus 10, puts us to 28. We discard 2 cards. This goes to 10, which puts us to 38. Yeah, we're just going to pass to the crones. This is one of the problems I find with the list, and something that I'm trying to figure out is, like, if you don't get Bork round 1, which we didn't get, and our opponent just won the round, so now he can just pass round 2 or play a Frightener, and, like, it just doesn't look good for us. Well, there's Bork. Bork will come in handy. We're going to mulligan away one of the pirate I keep saying pirate captains, just one of the pirates. They're the pirate captain. This is just a pirate. And we drew Roach, of course. Gotta love the mulligan in this game. It's not at all the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm sorry, I hate the mulligan. Like, I just despise the mulligan system in this game. I hate it so much. I think it's like the worst thing in the history of, like, I've never played a card game with a worse mulligan system. So he's going to go ahead and eat. We're going to play the pirates. We don't really have a choice. We can't keep pace with that anyway, even if we
Give
wanted
us
to.
all you got!
There's just, like, no way to keep pace with the Akimara. If he wants to, so if he plays like a Fog or something, we're just going to play Bork. Yeah, we want to get out of this round as fast as possible. So Bork goes to, well, maybe that's not enough. Maybe it's better to Ermion here. If we play Bork, we force him out of the round, which is pretty good. But then we're down to basically 5 to 25, and we can't get 20 in 1 card. So maybe it's better to play Ermion. No, it's better to play Bork. I didn't think he would push here so hard with the Woodland Spirit. I should have led with the Bear if I was even considering that. That's a really bad play, though. Because if he loses this round... Okay, so...
I can help you if you wish.
Ciri dash. I want to discard Ciri dash. Of course, that's not going to be an option. So I think it's actually right to discard probably the shackles.
Don't make me laugh.
And then Bork's going to go off. So we go down 2 cards, which is really unfortunate for us. But we do have the big... We got the bear. And Ciri dash is going back. Hopefully we can find a renew. I think that's probably our best. We have a 2 in 6 chance of finding renew and our Ciri dash. Of course, we didn't find either of those. So the question is, do we want to keep this entire hand, knowing that we have Svanrig to try to do something? We want to lead with the bear. I don't think we want both captains. I think we want to see other cards. This is not exactly what I had in mind. We'll lead with the bear. He'll get in some chip damage. It's not terrible.
I swear on my honor.
That's so annoying. It's annoying because also, like, I just feel like we can't quite thin enough. Like, I feel like we're just not quite thinning as much as I'd like to. What is in the graveyard?
The goddess protect you from all evil.
So the question is, do we want the Savage Bear or do we want Donar? Probably just take another bear. He locked it pretty quickly, which makes me think that he probably has some kind of nonsense going on.
Naivety is a fool's blessing.
Gales, he's already used Karen Thayer, he's already used Woodland Spirit, which means he probably has Caretaker. Succubus. Succubus just gives him +2.
Such a shame.
Yeah, it just gives him +2. That's fine. He's definitely going to fog
What's this on one?
the 14, but there's nothing I can do about that. Oh my god, the Drowner. Oh my Jesus. Oh, what? Wait, what?
Crap move.
Yeah. Yes, it was. Wait. What? So we won. Interesting. Alright, well, that guy just donated some MMR to us. I'm not going to complain about it. We're 1-0. That was really confusing. Although I do like the idea of using Drowner with Succubus. That's pretty cool. I may look into that. That might be next week's Theorycraft Thursday. But right now we're on this week's Theorycraft Thursday, which is going well, I guess. We're 1-0. I'll see you guys for game number 2. Alright guys, we're back for game number 2. I mean, we fell a little bit on the ladder, but we didn't fall like to the abyss. That last guy was ranked 14.
More mead.
He must have just made a misclick or had a brain fart or something. That was weird. Alright, so we're going up against Foltest. Now, Foltest is interesting because, okay, so once again to the mulligans. We'll mulligan first, then we'll talk about it. We want to get rid of this card. Savage Bear is good. We want to get rid of Roach. And we're actually, I think we're going to keep Ciri Dash. We have this Fanrig Ciri Dash combo. We can also use Ciri Dash with Roach. And we have the Demetrium Shackles, or I call them Demetrium. Dimeridium Shackles for the kid when he's Siege Sergeant, which is pretty solid. Also, our opponent's just going to lead with Foltest anyway, unless he forgets. He didn't forget. No, he's going to. He's going to do it. Is he going to do it? He's no. Okay, he did
Press
it.
those vermin!
Yeah, it's fine. So we have a bear. Now you'll notice we have also not only do we have a fundamental problem here. Okay, and the problem is that we need to do damage.
Trouble approaches.
To set up our Clandrum and Shield Maidens, right? That is the issue. So we're actually going to Gremist fog the back row on a Siege Sergeant. We could just lock it, but well, yeah, because we don't want to Svanrig until we use up these two cards, but I guess we could do this later. We can also play Ciri Dash this round. Maybe it's better just to take the lock.
Calm yourselves.
Oh, did we get one of them? Oh, we did. That is amazing. The Siege support makes his Reaver Scouts worse, which is why we wanted to do that. It's like very important to try to take, like obviously you have no control over it, but like using Donar to try to take cards out of their deck is really good. So Dandelion, this is, so okay, he's buffing 1, 2. He probably has a Witcher in hand because he's thinking a long time about the third card. Alright, we're gonna play the Pirates here.
You want to pass, you gotta pay.
Also, we're
Can't let
protected
you
against
outways.
Kiramets because the siege support is smaller than this, so he can't like Epidemic or anything, which is really nice, and that comes in handy a lot. We do have Udalric, but once again, we don't want to... Okay, so I think Grimace in the back row now is probably right.
Not you again.
Even if he clears the row, we still have things to do damage to with our Shield Maidens, which is really all we want. Like, he's probably going to play a Blue Scout. That's fine. Or a Blue Stripe Scout. Clear the fog. But we can clear our deck, and that opens us up to do things with Svanrig. We can do things with King Bran. There's we now have options. Also, if you have Renew, this is something else you can do. If you have Renew in hand, you can use King Bran to discard a gold, like Bork or something, and then you can put it into your deck, which is pretty nice. I mean, then you can put it into play with Renew, which is kind of cool. That's a cute little combo. It's just kind of like the Udalric combo. So he's going to shoot my bear twice. We knew that was coming. He didn't clear the fog, but that's fine.
Give them no rest, no reprieve.
No rest, no reprieve.
Our shields are our ramparts.
And now we're starting to thin that deck out a little bit, which is exactly what we want to do. We do have Shackles in our hand, which we could probably discard with Svanrig.
You one of us or not?
You just... Okay. We're going to Bran here, I think. Ciri Dash is pretty good. We play Ciri Dash, we get Roach out of our deck, and then we don't have to Bran this turn. Although Bran does make our draws better. So this is really interesting. Like, we play Dash this turn, we get a 13-point boost. And we get Roach out of our deck. But like, how important is that in the current iteration? Is it better just to use Svanrig? Or we could use King Bran and just discard things. Let's go with Ciri Dash.
Yield and save me some time.
We also have the Shackles, which is really important because if he does shackle Ciri Dash, we can unshackle Ciri Dash.
I'll never be imprisoned again.
Okay, we get it. You'll never be imprisoned again. Blah, 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 blah. So he's losing 2, which is good news for us. Then we can Bran here.
Me or me.
So we're obviously going to discard the 2 raiders. As for the 3rd card we want to discard, I think a bear is... You usually pitch a bear
That's it.
when you
Good.
can't discard other things. That's usually the rule. He's going to Witchers here. I just don't think there's anything we can do about it. The Witchers are going to be pretty big. If he like somehow doesn't have a way to get the Witchers, that's kind of good, but unfortunately, he's probably...
Been waiting a long time for this.
Yep. Okay, so we could play Svanrig. We'll just play Ildaric. Helps draw through our deck, which matters.
He is here.
Ooh. Oh, man. I guess we take Ermion, right? Because we can always renew Bork. Because we're going to dig far enough through our deck where we can actually leverage Bork. And we're going to want Bork for round 3. He's the win condition against Voltist. So Ciri goes back into our deck. We drew... Okay, we got Renew, which is pretty nice. We also drew her, so we could discard her, but in this game, we're like not really looking to do that. I still think we keep our whole hand. Because we have some giant cards. We can use First Light to pull out one of the big guys. I forget what they're called. The Pirate Captains, if we really want to. Our opponent's looking at his graveyard for some reason. Oh, he has Neneke. Of course, of course, of course. So we want to keep pace. So if he plays Neneke, we will probably drop Ciri Dash. We could try to First Light. I don't know how big the Pirate Captains are at this point, but they gotta be pretty huge. Oh, he's just passing. Okay, well then this is an easy Ciri Dash from us.
You talked enough.
So he wants to go last. So Ciri's a 15 here. We can burn the shackles. We have Renew for Bork, and that is important as always. I think we actually lead with... Ooh, this is going to be tough. This is going to be a tough one. If we lead with Ermion, we have a pretty good chance of getting Ciri. Then we can discard the bear. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. We can also discard First Light if we want to. Although we could just... The bear just gives us a lot of value. We want to play... We want to renew Bork with 3 cards left. So we play the bear. Ermion, discard First Light, and maybe Svanrig. Alright, fine. Really? For Neneke? Neneke? I don't know how to say her name. It has to be, right? Yeah, okay.
Again.
So is he putting all 3 back or just 2? So he has Shawnee in hand. Yeah, okay, so he has Shawnee. I guess we Ermion here.
I can help you if you wish.
Pretty good chance of drawing, okay. Really? Okay, well, First Light gets us another 14, so maybe we don't play the Bork anymore. Maybe this is the plan?
Oh, Lady Margarita told us of this.
That is actually fine. So I think we're actually going to go for pure value now and power versus trying to use our Bork. which means we want to Sigurd Drifa on the bear, if at all possible. And this doesn't have fresh crew, so we can't, or I guess he could shoot this, but I don't think it's worth freaking out over. I think it's better to Svanrig here, try to get ourselves... This is really tough. We actually, if we draw Ciri Dash, we could discard the Pirate Captain. We could also discard Renew. Did not get Ciri Dash. Ugh. I guess we just discard the Renew. Philippa's pretty good though. Alright, we'll discard the 14. So Ciri Dash was the last card in our deck. That's unfortunate.
Doubt I'll ever pay off these school loans.
Oh, that's really annoying that he had both.
What do you need?
That really messes up my Grimace play. Because if we can Grimace and just make a bear, that's pretty good. Now Grimace is...
That is your brilliant move, truly.
Yeah, we gotta clear skies here. I don't want to, but it makes the most sense. It does make the most sense. Because we're gonna lose so much value from the rain. We're gonna lose, so there's 3 more turns. We lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Really? He has the Dandelion Renew. I mean, it doesn't matter what he renews at this point. We are pretty much dead. I mean, obviously, if he renews Philippa, we'd... What?
Wrong. Another mistake.
What on earth is going on? I don't think we want a Philippa here. I think we just want a Dandelion.
For you, my friend, always.
Why would he do that? Ah. Also, that raises the question of why on earth. So we're not going to play the 15 here. Why is he playing Becker's Twisted Mirror in a deck that doesn't have... So he like Bork
But we're broke as shit peddlers.
And like a weird... Why is he playing... Is he like hoping people play Bork so he can play Becker's Twisted Mirror? I mean, we still won, but like... I don't know what that was all about. It's a weird day on the ladder. But we're 2-0, so I can't complain about that. I will see you guys for game number 3. Alright, guys. Game number 3 time. And hopefully we can just run this all the way.
Table and let's drink.
Do a 3-0 with Ciri Dash. Although,
Of course, friend.
2-1's not bad. Although we should have lost that first game. The second game... we would have won regardless if we could have discarded, because we could have gotten Philippa, but still, really weird play by our opponent. So, also, I don't know why he was running Becker's Twisted Mirror. I guess it's to counter Axeman, which is a bad thought. Once again, we're stuck with this annoying mulligan. We need to get rid of this. We need to get rid of one of these. All right, come on. Don't do it. All right, cool. So we do have Dash in hand, but that's fine. We'll lead with the bear. So one of the only things, and this is something to remember, so like the card that you mulligan early on, like the first card you mulligan, oh, we're playing against Queen's Guard. That's actually super cool. I haven't seen a Queen's Guard deck in forever. That's a really good card for us to discard with Svanrig, or Ciri Dash, regardless, or Ermion.
Me or me.
But something to remember is that it goes towards the top of your deck, right? So Roach, if we discarded Roach first, there's a higher chance that Roach goes to the top of our deck. That kind of thing is really annoying. So we want to get Ciri Dash into the deck before we do this, but we want to do the Pirates.
You want to pass, you gotta pay. Can't let you through elseways.
Before, so like always remember your sequencing when you're playing a deck like this, right? So we don't want to draw Pirates with Ermion or Svanrig or what have you, and we're going to Ermion first.
Glory to you.
And the reason we're going to Ermion first is because we want to try to hit a try to pull Roach out if possible, and if we draw a Roach, that's obviously unfortunate. But okay, so we did draw a Raider, which kind of sucks, but we get to put that into play for free. And we will obviously discard this Queen's Guard. We get Roach out of the deck.
That's it. Good.
And now we can Svanrig into Ciri Dash. And then discard our last Raider with King Bran. The double bear is really good. He clearly didn't have an answer for the bears that was easy. If he tries to fog, we have Grimace for clear skies. Like, this is definitely kind of what we want in round one. So I need Hallmark. So we have Renew for Hallmark, which is really nice. I actually think this might be a pass. As weird as that sounds, we want to lose round one if we're going to be renewing Hallmark in round three, which is probably what we're going to be looking to do. Even though we can't really damage or kill the Lord of Unvict, just taking away Hallmark from your opponent is pretty good, and it's a 10-point gold. But I guess we could also push a little bit here. We'll do this.
I will prove my worth.
And we'll get rid of the dash. Just start the discard train with her. Our opponent still has to damage this before he can kill it anyway. So you have to assume he probably has like a fog or a frost or something.
Here.
That's actually fine. We still want to keep our opponent kind of on the ropes, so I think it's better to King Bran now. Maybe force out a Queen's Guard or something to that effect. Because we have the double Savage Bears, right? So, and as always, I think we get rid of the bear. We could get rid of the D-Shackles, but that could actually come in handy at some point.
Just standing here.
And now we're up by 1. Yeah, so these Queen's Guard are going to get knocked around a little bit, which is nice. We can tie, or we could actually go off with the Clandrum and Shield Maidens.
Now! All together!
I just want to push my opponent a little bit more.
Are our ramparts!
Also, putting them in this configuration makes it so he can't just resurrect them. And that is a definite pass from us. Yep, absolutely. We're even on cards. He has to go down a card to beat us.
So what? Should I pound it into
Oh, that's actually kind of annoying. So his plan is going to be to resurrect the Queen's Guard next round. Almost guaranteed, if I had to guess, but we also discarded a lot of our deck. Like, we only have 6 cards left. That's pretty good. Ooh, Bork. Bork plus Uldaric is a pretty nice combo. We can mess around with that if we want to. Donar is not really doing all that much here. So he reses the Queen's Guard. That's what I would do if I were him, at least.
Bow before modern Freya.
You're good. Real good.
So we're going to bork it up, as it were.
Slapping.
This will get a pass from him. And then we only have to go down 1 card because we can Uldaric, which is pretty nice. There's the pass. So what is this? He's minus 16 from 34. So he is at 16. Right? No, that can't be right. What's 34 minus 20? He's at 18. So we need plus... We're going to need 4 plus... Oh no, but I can't. I have to use this after Bork goes off. Ugh, that's so annoying. Maybe it's better just to grimace here.
Have you nothing better to do?
And now we can Uldaric. Or... Yeah, because those are all going to be 4s. So he would just have 7. We can't res anything smaller than a 4, right? Roach is a 4. These are all 4s. Yeah. So we'll do this.
The gods won't be pleased.
We'll actually just keep the Ciri dash here. And then we can play her. It's not terrible. I mean, obviously I would have liked
Ho ho, I sense trouble.
different outcome, but... So we're immediately going to renew Hallmar, as was the plan. Hopefully, so we have a 2 in 3 chance of drawing Ciri. 50-50. Now we got her. So she's a 19-point gold, which is not terrible. We definitely don't want him resurrecting Hallmar. We could have also taken Ceres, but...
Who wants to taste Skelliger Steel?
I don't think that was worth it. I also think we have... Do we have another Pirate Captain in our deck? I think we've only played one. We have only played one. So Rally is going to get us another Pirate Captain. The question is, what do we want to use Sigurdrifa for? Probably going to use her... Oh, we used the Shackles. Alright. I don't think I care about that.
Ho ho, I sense trouble.
Put Ciri in the middle here. Hey, it's a bear. A big old scary bear. We do want to play around Igni if possible, although it's not possible. So the question is, what's more important? Do we want power or do we want a fog? If we play Sigurdrifa for a fog, he almost assuredly is going to use Grimace to stop it, but that also takes him off of... I think it's better to do that.
The goddess protect you from all evil.
I think a fog is better in this situation than a bear.
Not a moment's peace.
He hasn't used his Clan Drum and Shield Maidens yet. I didn't even think about that. Maybe I want a fog here. Ooh, this is actually really interesting. If he has Clan Drummond's, he hasn't played a Shield Maiden yet. If he has Shield Maidens, it was much better to put the fog into this row. But I also can't bank on that, so I have to assume, like, if he has Shield Maidens, right, we're -6, we're at 32, he's at 24. Okay, so he just had another bear. I don't really care about that. We'll put this into the back row.
What's this on one?
I mean, his Queen's Guard are going to be massive, but if we can hit the fog on his Queen's Guard, because they're the top two, I believe, are the same strength. So that's going to be 24, 28, plus Ceres is... Where did Ceres go? Oh my god, he had Renew for Bork. Oh my god, he got us. He totally got us. Have to pass.
What do you need?
God, hoisted by our own Bork.
You're good. Real good.
Yes, yes, Saris.
Just careful there.
That is pretty brutal. Just pass the turn. Your Bork will trigger. Black. That is super unfortunate. This is the reason why having a bunch of cards in the last round of the game is not good. That is one of the primary reasons, though we did go 2-1. So that is something. I hope you guys are enjoying the series. I hope you guys are enjoying the decks. I think Ciri Dash has a lot of potential. I just can't quite figure out the numbers yet. Renew is everywhere, so maybe running Bork isn't the best idea. Maybe I do want to try to switch to like Lugos or other cards instead. Not really sure yet. Still tweaking the numbers as in the write-up. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's Theorycraft Thursday. I'm Joseph Scalise. This is the Noble Gwentry, and I probably will do Ciri Dash in Nilfgaard next week because I really want to try that as well. I will see you guys on the flip side.